Doctor Who wrapped up its 60th anniversary, and well, it didn't have any of the headline-grabbing scenes like a black Isaac Newton, or the Doctor revealing that he's always been kind of gay, or that pronouns are more important, or a male-presenting Time Lord would never know how to relinquish power. No, it wasn't quite as bombastic as the first two 60th anniversary specials, but it did have the BIGENEration, which, okay, for people who were fans of the show and willing to give it another chance this time around, that kind of was the final straw for a lot of them, because it's like, that just makes absolutely no sense. But I can see what the writers are trying to do with this one, and well, something that was supposed to be a celebration of Doctor Who, 60 years of time-traveling intergalactic bliss, well, just kind of landed with a thud because, well, Russell T Davies, the BBC, Disney, who's also funding this nonsense, wants to push the message ahead of the actual content. Doctor Who's showrunner, Russell T Davies, reveals whether David Tennant will return in a new series after that anniversary twist. What twist? We already knew the 15th Doctor was Ncuti Gatwa with his absolutely atrocious sonic screwdriver. That's one thing that, okay, even if you don't watch Doctor Who, you probably know about the sonic screwdriver, okay? The fact that it's basically used as like a universal lockpick, or something that can go ahead and bypass any security settings on electronic devices, okay? At some point in time, some hack writers wanted to try to turn it into more or less like a magic wand, but holy shit, does this thing look atrocious? Because the rest of them, okay, like they got a pretty distinct look to them. They do kind of look like a magic wand, but this one for the first black, but no longer the first gay Doctor, because I don't know if RTD inadvertently realized that in the writing of the Wild Blue Yonder episode, him inadvertently making David Tennant attracted to Isaac Newton kind of robbed Ncuti of that one, but oh well. I'm sure they'll celebrate it, and he's the first black gay man, whatever. But here's this fucking thing I actually watched, okay, and there's interesting would be a stretch, but there was a video, okay, I was watching some clips over the weekend, just to try to refresh, well, actually introduce myself, maybe a little bit more to the lore, but after this video, I'm not going to talk about this stuff ever again, unless it becomes culturally relevant, because, well, after this anniversary special, it just is all kind of downhill from here, which wasn't really that much of a hill to begin with, but now the behind-the-scenes footage of Ncuti introducing his sonic screwdriver, that thing right there that looks like Adam Sandler's remote from Click. Oh guys, it's super important because it has a can opener that pops out of the top that you can use it for like USB purposes, as opposed to the old a tactile way of just simply grabbing one's phone and, you know, tapping the screwdriver against it, or just, you know, casting it in the near direction of it, and then it bypasses any sort of electronic firewall that may be in its place. But no, he can plug his phone into the wall and charge it. There's also a hidden meaning on it for an intergalactic time-traveling Time Lord that needs to be on there in order to be representative of the actor playing him, which is so fucking stupid, man. My favorite thing about the Sonic is this message that's written in Gallifreyan symbols, and it is a Rwandan proverb. Because, hi, he's Rwandan, guys. Isn't that important? This means a lot to me. Me, the actor, not me, the character. Gatwa reveals it translates to the sharpness of the tongue defeats the sharpness of the warrior while he's holding a weapon. Makes a lot of sense, right? But that's kind of what you could say about this entire anniversary thing. Because it was supposed to be a celebration of 60 years of one of the most popular British properties in all of entertainment. But no. You ended up undoing some of the best stories that you had for the 10th Doctor, bringing him back, making him more modern day appropriate, and driving off people in droves. Because, well, we have the ratings of this, and as you can tell, the Giggle ain't doing a fuck all. The only thing giggling is the people looking at the ratings. 4.6 million. 4.6 million people tuned out for the climactic ending of the 60th anniversary, the regeneration, or rather BIGENEration, of the new 15th Doctor. Over 2 million fewer people turned out for the return since the first Doctor of the toy maker something, a villain that a lot of people, apparently, from the fandom, have looked forward to seeing in some form or fashion. And that's the only thing that I've heard when it comes to reviews of the Giggle, okay, was that Neil Patrick Harris, who played Toymaker, he was pretty good in his role. David Tennant was pretty good in his role. There's a lot of good performances. It was just the script and the plot, it was all fucking nonsense. And the fact that, the Toymaker ended up getting defeated because he couldn't catch a ball. Neil Patrick Harris, isn't he good at catching? Anyways, Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies has revealed that there are no plans for David Tennant to return to the new series because no, we need to go ahead and make sure that Ncuti Gatwa can go ahead and tell his race-baiting story. Why is that necessary, okay? Is the thing that drove so many Who fans away to begin with was the first female doctor, Jodie Whittaker, telling her story about how she's a woman, but now you can go ahead and do it because now the doctor's going to go ahead and tell his story about being black if you believe that the Timeless Children is canon once again, which is such a who gives a fuck when you're trying to watch a science fiction show. That's what Doctor Who is at the end of the day. All the cultural anachronisms, the shoddy CGI, the practical effects, all of that stuff, man. No. All of that is secondary to just go ahead and polluting the fucking message. There's an open block that's right there because for the first time since 2017, there is going to be a proper Christmas special for Doctor Who. There might have been other ones in between, but the first one to come out on the 25th of December, came back all the way in 2017, Twice Upon a Time, and it ended up getting 7.92 million views. 7.92, just about 8 million people tuned into that one. Do you think the first Doctor, the brand new 15th Doctor in his first solo appearance, do you think he's going to pull 8 million viewers? I don't fucking think so, especially if this is what they're going to be leading with. Doctor Who lead Ncuti Gatwa says his series will definitely address protagonists, obviously, new race, and feature episodes inspired by actors' very leftist liberal bubble. Yeah, that's what people wanted to see. Fantastic. And further torpedoing of any hopes of a series fan who thought Russell T Davies' return would herald a return to form, the alien hero, the newest actor to portray the Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, has teased that, hi, I got a really nice new Sonic, ain't it nice, ain't it? Nah, he doesn't sound like that, because he's not British. Has teased that not only will his upcoming Doctor Who run address the character's regeneration into a new race, but that it will also feature an episode whose messaging explicitly leans into the actor's very leftist liberal bubble. Yeah, and don't think that that's, oh man, he might be taking shots at that. No. We've seen what RTD is doing now with his current run, okay? You can take a look at some of his comments from the past, okay? He's not going to be doing this whole South Park idea where we're just going to take shots at both sides. This is what you're getting moving into the future, and that's why so many people have tuned out. It's so funny, man. For all the people that seem to think that race changing is just absolutely, it doesn't matter and all that stuff, but then at the same time, when it does happen in their favor, they need to make it central to the story. That's why everything sucks. Coming out on modern Hollywood, modern studio productions. That's why I've been so happy about the success of Godzilla, Hayao Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron. Outside of one obvious example, something that I've talked about on the channel quite a bit, there's nothing from modern studios coming out that doesn't prioritize the message over telling a good story. That's why so many people, and this is something that Doctor Who had the ultimate chance of doing. House of the Dragon brought back people that were scorned, people that were watching the biggest show at the time. They managed to turn around old Game of Thrones fans and have them look forward with a palpable glee for the second season. They brought it back from the dead, and that was a show that continued to build episode after episode, higher rating after higher rating, because people were hopping on the bandwagon. With Doctor Who and the fact that they squandered their perfect opportunity to do this only to just continue to force it down the fucking pipe of intersectional politics, people are falling off, and this time around you had that prime opportunity, man. House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, they knocked it out of the park. Doctor Who, they took that fastball down the middle and they fouled it off through the bat into the third row, and then piss their pants at home plate. I'm so sad. I'm very empathetic to anybody who had hope for this franchise to turn it around, who had invested years in following it, but you probably already knew that it was already on death's door. It was likely already dead, and this right here is just simple confirmation. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.